go. This is Valley News Live at 9 on Fargo CW.
The cost of EpiPens have been the hot topic among some lawmakers for several months now. And today, the CEO of Mylan was in the hot seat. Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight. We have seen it before. The cost of life-saving drugs suddenly skyrocketing puts them out of reach for millions of Americans. Valley News Team's Alex Miller reports from Washington and says neither side backed down.
It's the health hearing many angry Americans have been waiting for. The price of EpiPen, a device used to treat severe allergic reactions, has increased more than 500% over the past decade. It used to cost users around $100 for a pack of EpiPens. Now it's more than $600. Mylan Pharmaceuticals CEO Heather Bresch has been virtually silent on the issue. Today, she faced Congress head on.
We've got a problem that costs people security and potentially costs lives.
Congressman Tim Walberg's wife needs an EpiPen. He, like most Americans, wants answers.
Why we've seen the increase, why, knowing the need, why you would countenance having a cost that makes it almost prohibitive to even have it around.
Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle hit Bresch on issues from the cost of the product to her own salary, $18 million last year alone. Bresch says she's earned the paycheck by coming up with new ways to save consumers money, like creating a generic form of the drug that will be half the price.
This unprecedented move is the fastest and most direct way to reduce the price for all patients.
Bresch says people will opt for the generic, and it will hurt her company in the end.
Our profit per pen will be substantially lower than it is now.
Still, members say she used her monopoly to unnecessarily jack up the price for the name brand EpiPen. The formula has not changed in nearly a century, forcing patients to pay the price.
We don't have competition.
But Congress can't force drug companies to lower their prices, and it's likely Mylan won't bend anytime soon. From the Valley News Live Washington Bureau, I'm Alex Miller.
Right now, Congress hasn't set policy to regulate drug price hikes, but they're beginning to take steps to do so. A bipartisan bill just hit the Senate floor that would require drug companies that have raised their price more than 10% to justify the need for the hike. Senator Tammy Baldwin says right now many Americans fear these companies are raising prices simply because they can. And this just into our newsroom tonight, the Grand Forks Police Department is asking for your help in locating a man who is on the run. It all started when police were dispatched shortly before 6 o'clock tonight. It's the Valley Ho Trailer Park, and it's located right off of Washington Street. The call came in saying a wanted man was spotted in the area, and when police arrived on scene, he drove away in a red pickup truck with a passenger. Now, police are looking for 30-year-old Cody Sudell. A description of him has not yet been released, but police say he is not believed to be a threat to the public. So if you know anything at all, you are asked to contact the Grand Forks Police. Their number is on your screen. And happening right now out of Charlotte, North Carolina, one person has died from a gunshot wound at a protest in Charlotte, North Carolina. This according to Charlotte Police Chief Curb Putney. The city of Charlotte tweeted just moments ago that fatal shot was civilian on civilian, going on to say police did not fire. Now, this is the second night demonstrators clashed with police in riot gear after cops shot and killed 43-year-old Keith Lamont Scott. His family claimed he was simply reading a book. And Robert, given it's the last night of summer, what does this mean? Yeah. I know it's official, but what does this mean going into tonight and then waking up tomorrow morning?
Well, we saw a pretty decent day today, far from summer-like, but a pretty nice day out there. As we hit through the overnight hours, though, another cool night, a quiet day tomorrow, and then we've got some stormy weather to talk about, unfortunately, just in time for the weekend. Current temperatures right now across the region, a mix of some 50s and some 60s, already down to 52 up in Langdon, 55 in Devils Lake, 63 Valley City, also 63 here in the Fargo-Moorhead area, 63 Detroit Lakes, and in Fergus Falls. Winds, they've been breezy all day today. They'll continue to be a bit breezy as we head through tonight and continue with breezy conditions as we head through to Thursday. Not a whole lot of cloud cover out there, and most of that, the high-thin cirrus variety underneath what few clouds we do have. No precipitation in our area, but some big-time storms ongoing just southeast of us. Probably a pretty good light show if you look off towards the south and southeast of Fergus Falls, south of Wadena there. Probably seeing quite a bit of lightning off in the distance. Northern Plains, there are those storms, and they stretch all the way through the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. Some of these storms have been strong and at times severe through the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. Numerous flash flood warnings ongoing in parts of Minnesota and Wisconsin. Off towards the west, a lot of shower and thunderstorm activity. One severe storm not too far from Salt Lake City in Utah, and a few showers and storms along the eastern seaboard. For us, as we head through the rest of the night and through the day tomorrow, look for quiet conditions. We'll see some cool temperatures tonight, dipping down into the 40s across the north, 50s across the south. And those winds again staying a bit on the breezy side overnight tonight and then picking up once again as we head through the day tomorrow. A lot of cloud cover in our far southern counties as we head through much of the day tomorrow. And along with that, a chance for a few showers, maybe a rumble or two of thunder. Tomorrow's high temperatures, a mix of some 60s, maybe some low 70s across the Southern Valley. And again, those clouds will be on the increase, especially across the south and west late on Thursday. That ahead of a storm system will give us several chances of rain on into the weekend. So low 50s to start off the day. By lunchtime, warming it on up into the mid 60s and turning breezy once again. Low 70s later on in the day with those breezes continuing out of the northeast, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Picture of the day, check this out. Thanks to Steve for sending that in. A gorgeous shot, sunrise reflections. We're going to use that as the background of our 7-day forecast. Again, tomorrow, nice on the first day of fall. And then the bottom drops out for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Good chance for showers and storms, especially Friday on night on to Saturday and to Sunday. Not going to rain everywhere all the time, so keep that in mind. But we'll have that chance over the weekend. Much cooler as we head into next week with highs in the upper 50s and low 60s and lows in the low to mid 40s. And that's in Fargo up north. We'll probably see some 30s as we hit through early next week.
And if we're seeing some widespread showers off and on, always be sure to download your Valley News Live weather app. You can check the radar and just see what's happening.
Anytime on the go.
Love it. Thanks, Robert. Now on to a story we first broke to you today, that while the investigation into Dahir Adan now sits with the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force, that's after he stabbed 10 people at a St. Cloud, Minnesota mall. His brother, Abdullahi Adan, is in the Cass County Jail on drug charges. So here's what we know about at this hour. Abdullahi was charged back in June after an officer pulled him over and smelled marijuana in his car. Today, he was in court and asked to be furloughed so he could attend his brother's funeral. Adan also has an ICE detainer issued against him, meaning local law enforcement is asked to hold him an additional 48 hours after being released. That way, federal officials can decide if they want to deport him. There could be surveillance video of a person who busted out a number of car windows overnight in Fargo. Police were called downtown to Sanford Health Hospital several times. Once to the same-day surgery parking lot where at least one car had broken windows, and twice to the north parking garage for more. Currently, police don't know who did it.
When I get off work, it's already dark, and if I go and see my car's been broken into, and I'm all alone walking to my car, this is kind of really scary.
You'd think it'd be safe there in employee parking, but evidently not if people are doing that kind of stuff. And what about security? Where isn't that monitored in there? I would think. But it's very disconcerting. I hate to see it creeping up here.
Sanford Health Security says they are working with the Fargo Police Department to track down that person. Now, they wouldn't give us any more details or let us look at their video. The man charged with raping a woman in the bathroom of a Mapleton, North Dakota gas station last December appeared in court this morning. Abdulrahman Ali said in court that he's not getting the medication he needs. About a week ago, Ali filed a letter with the court saying he had trouble communicating with his counselors, that he needs more understanding. Ali's family says he is mentally ill and needs help. Ali's next court appearance is scheduled for October. A West Fargo canine helped catch a burglar earlier this morning. 42-year-old Kenneth Morris was taken into custody after police were called to a report of a burglary at 104 36th Avenue Place East. The homeowners there said they saw a man run out of their shed. That's when Disco bit Morris on his arm before he was arrested for burglary. Morris has no known address and was taken to the hospital for minor injuries. 60-year-old Joan Hensley Cito of Crookston was arrested after allegedly assaulting a police officer while he was trying to make an arrest. It's a charge that carries a maximum sentence of 1 year in jail if she's convicted. She was also charged with disorderly conduct. GPA and a list of activities are just a few things colleges are looking at when students apply. Now you can add social media to that list. Colleges across the country are paying more attention to how students use those accounts. Valley News Team's Giovanna Simic spoke with the local high school students about the importance of proper social media use.
Ask any high school student and they will tell you, social media is a big part of their lives.
I got Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, pretty much everything.
I use Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, pretty much all the basics.
And they spend a lot of time on them.
All the time, between classes, sometimes in my class.
But all that time on social media could hurt your chances of getting into college. 40% of admissions officers say they look at an applicant's social media account to learn more about them, something most students don't think about.
I didn't really know that at all. I kind of figured that, but yeah, that's higher than I thought it would be.
According to a Kaplan Test Prep survey, learning about an applicant's interests and looking into inappropriate or illegal behavior are reasons why colleges look at social media accounts.
If they see something that they don't think is appropriate or safe, they're probably not going to accept you to college.
Be careful with what you post. If you don't want people to see it, I wouldn't put it out there. If it's not something you would want to show your parents, I wouldn't post it.
In Fargo, Giovanna Simic, Valley News Live.
Colleges that look at applicants' social media accounts say they want them to reflect the student's resume. At this hour, police say it is still unclear whether a Snapchat picture was meant as a joke or what some are calling an act of racism. UND police and administration are investigating a harassment complaint after the picture was shared on Facebook, calling out the school to take action. Take a look at this picture. The Facebook user says her friend allegedly left her phone in the room, only to have 3 other students post a picture on her Snapchat story with a caption referencing her race. UND police say a harassment report was made by 2 people, including the victim in the incident. Students we spoke with on campus say they want to know more about the situation and the relationship between the people involved.
I mean, it's, again, from a blunt perspective, it's harsh, it's racist. This is not cool to be posting on social media. Now, taking a step back and thinking, looking at, some of the other context clues as their faces, and I don't know the people personally. This could very well have been, friendly humor gone wrong.
The UND president released a statement today to students saying he is shocked people would think this is a joke, adding the people pictured are not current or former student athletes, as some suspected on social media. Rescue crews were able to pull a man from the Red River earlier this afternoon. The call came in around 4:30 off Harwood Drive in South Fargo. Crews positioned themselves at 2 locations and were able to get him to a riverbank safely. He was taken by ambulance to a nearby hospital. The man's name and condition are being released. Tonight, we have a look at the other side of the story regarding the protest and delay of the Dakota Access Pipeline project in southwestern North Dakota. Union representatives and construction workers say the government's recent decision to delay the project over environmental and cultural concerns simply isn't fair. And it's putting people out of work. Union Representative Danny Hendricks says stopping this project now is putting around 1,000 pipeline workers he represents out of a job.
What's that going to do to the future for private industry that wants to build infrastructure, that they go through all this 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 year process and it's all approved, and then all of a sudden they say, oh, well, not really. It's not really approved.
Pipeline protesters say they are concerned about a possible leak of that North Dakota pipeline contaminating Missouri River water. They also claim the pipeline's route goes through a historic cultural site on Standing Rock tribal land. We have much more on this story online. Just go to valleynewslive.com. Vikings running back Adrian Peterson will have surgery on his damaged right knee tomorrow and could miss the remainder of the 2016-2017 season. ESPN reporter Josina Anderson posted on Twitter that the second opinion on Peterson's knee revealed what is known as a bucket handle tear, an injury with a minimum recovery time of 3 to 4 months and sometimes up to 6 months. Zimmer confirmed that Peterson will undergo surgery tomorrow, but said the timeline for returning would not be determined until a surgeon can access the extent of the damage. Zimmer said that Ronnie Hillman was signed to provide depth at the running back position in Peterson's absence. Zimmer also said that left offensive tackle Matt Cale was placed on the injured reserve list with a hip injury, adding they assume his season is over. A Minnesota mother who hid her daughters on a ranch for more than 2 years to keep them away from their father was sentenced in court today. 50-year-old Sandra Grazzini Ricky was sentenced to 6 years probation and 34 days in jail. Authorities say the mother hid her daughters on a friend's secluded ranch in 2013, but claimed to authorities they ran away. She argued she did it to protect them from alleged abuse at the hands of their father, a claim that turned out to be false. The judge called the mother's actions the most senseless of acts, sympathizing with the children's father, who the girls now live with. Still ahead tonight, a local treatment and educational center is trying to help kids heal from trouble they've been through. We take an inside look at their expansion project next on Valley News Live at 9.